So just as an extra, and it might be important to know, that we can use the process of prime factorization to actually find a greatest common factor or the lowest common multiple between two or more sets of numbers. So just as a quick example, I'm going to use prime factorization to find the greatest common factor and the lowest common multiple for, well, let's say 8 and 12. So the first thing I need to do is take both of these numbers and find the prime factorization for them. So I take my number 8. You know what? I'm going to do it just off to the side here. Take my number 8, and I'm going to do my factor tree for number 8. Eight is 2 times 4. 4 is 2 times 2. So my prime factorization for 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. And I do the same for 12, which is 3 times 4, which is 2 times 2. So my prime factorization for 12 is 2 times 2 times 3. Now that I have my prime factorization, let's look at finding the greatest common factor. So I take my prime factorization for both of those numbers, 8, which is 2 times 2 times 2, and 12, which is 2 times 2 times 3. And I look to see what's common between the two. Well, what's common? My 2's here, and my 2's here. So what does that mean? It means 2 times 2, which is 4, is my greatest common factor between 8 and 12. If I did that the standard way, 8, my factors are 1 and 8, 2 and 4. If I did 12, my factors are 1 and 12 and 2 and 6 and 3 and 4. And lo and behold, what number is the biggest between the two? 4. That's how you find greatest common factor. Now lowest common multiple, similar steps, just a little bit different. So if I go back now, if I'm going to be looking for lowest common multiple, I still start with my prime factorization, 8, which is 2 times 2 times 2, and 12, which is 2 times 2 times 3. And again, I look to see what's common. 2, 2, which means 2 times 2. And then I also multiply in each of the parts that are left over. So I'm going to multiply in this 2 times 2, and I'm going to multiply in this 3 times 3. Well, 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 is 24. So my lowest common multiple between 8 and 12 is 24. If I did this the old-fashioned way, then I could say, well, you know what? My multiples of 8 are 8, 16, 24, 32. My multiples of 12, 12, 24, 36. Oh, but lo and behold, look at this, 24, 24. Lowest common multiple, 24. So that's just another quick way to find lowest common multiple, greatest common factor between two numbers using prime factorization. Now it gets a little bit trickier when we have three numbers, but you'll get a little bit of practice at that, and I'm sure you'll be fine.